on the nose here on this 22nd day of January in the year 2019. Anno Domini. This is the Denkin's Den.
The views expressed by the host during his monologue are those solely of his own, not those of Westfield State University, the radio club, our underwriters, or the students coming back to class today.
Or me.
And now...
It's starting on me already. It's starting on me already.
You know what, Pete?
What's going on, Ken?
I went to the supermarket this past Saturday.
Oh, this could be interesting.
No. It was not to get bread and milk and eggs and toilet paper for the snowpocalypse. It was because the punchkis were back.
Ah, yes.
And for other reasons, but I will get to that in a minute. When I was out in Vegas the other week, I lost 10 pounds.
Wow. Good for you.
I was only eating one meal a day and walking miles each and every day.
Bad for you.
Now that the punchki have returned, I expect to gain those pounds back. Well, hopefully not all of them. And if this past weekend was an example of what is around the corner, I'm most likely assured that not all those pounds will return. It was Saturday the 19th, 2000-something. I needed to get my weekly grocery shopping done. But first, the punchki. This effort would require me going to one market to get those oversized, yummy Polish donuts, and then going to another market to get my real food. Yep, this Polak can't keep things simple. If I can save $1 on an item between the two major markets here in town, then I will plan my shopping accordingly. Yeah, sure, Pete. Call me cheap.
I'm not calling you nothing. I might agree with you.
So I get to the punchki place. The one thing I was picking up at this market.
Yes.
Punchki. And wouldn't you know it, they were completely out
Oh, no.
of the Bavarian cream punchki. Those are the best.
Yep.
You know, it was early in the day, too. I was pissed. I grabbed a few different types since I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get as many as I normally would have. Because there were no Bavarian cream left. The Bavarian cream. Nothing like an oversized, dense donut filled with pastry cream. But I would be absent of any satisfaction of carefully eating around the outside of one like a peanut butter cup and then going in for the kill on that custard filling. We can't see your expressions when you're hiding behind the turret, Kathy.
I know.
You know, if this keeps happening,
Yes.
it's likely those pounds I lost in Vegas will stay in Vegas. And I'm okay with that. But I won't be happy about it. I arrive at the second market. I had to traverse the aisles of zombies, mindlessly scattering about the place so they could get what they need in order to make French toast, which, for some reason, is what everyone in New England starts to crave when a snowstorm is about to come in.
I'm letting that one go.
Milk, eggs, bread.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cat food.
I get about 30 items when I only had 10 items on my list.
Kenny was hungry.
Funny how that happens. And I didn't load up on Twinkies or Ho-Hos. In fact, I ended up with a lot of fruit this week.
Really?
Yeah. Because of my trip to the Consumer Electronics Show, I fell in love with yet another kitchen appliance.
Oh, no.
My slow-speed masticating juicer showed up at my doorstep last week. This monster eats anything you want to put into it, poops out the non-digestible bits, and produces pure juice. This thing must be nuclear powered. The fact that a carrot produces quite a bit of juice seems to qualify that thinking. It is probably a good thing I found this not yet needed appliance at the show, as it forces me to be a bit healthier. There's also something satisfying about shoving something down a chute and completely rearranging its natural structure.
That's funny.
But getting back to my beloved punchkis.
Oh, no.
Fat Tuesday is March 5th this year. That is just under a month and a half of a window to land myself some of those Bavarian cream punchkis. It's not a super short season this year.
Right.
It could be longer, but it is short. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it. I ask for all of your prayers. Let's pay our bills. We'll be back right after this.
You need help.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Plasek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Wednesday mornings from 6 till 8, it's Tina Gorman with Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Now what? Wait for it. Wait for it. You could still have this potted up.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for 8:20 and a half.
And a half.
Okay, I got you.
Here on this 22nd day of January in the year 2019, Anno Domini. This is the Den, Ken's Den. Ken Stomsky behind the microphone as usual. In front of the Radio Millennium Board. Oh, I'm a little hot
Good
there.
Lord, I'll turn you down.
Well, I'm actually all the way up, so I'll put myself where I normally am.
Okay.
All right, let me try that again.
That's better.
That's tamer. Peter Coles, Kitten of the Keys, Chairman Meow, the January jerk of the...
No,
what
it's
is
not
it?
jerk.
No.
It's jocular.
Wait,
Where's Bob when you need him?
Jocular jester or something?
Jaunter.
Jaunty jocular jester.
That's it.
Why
yeah.
can't I call you the January jerk of? Let's come up. January jerk of the seasonings because you do smoking now. Get it now?
That's
jerk
true.
seasoning.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, jerky. Yeah, I got it.
The January.
I was a chili guy over the weekend, though. I made lots of chili.
Honey, we were all chilly.
And you made it the right way without any friggin' beans.
I snuck them in there.
You suck. The real chili does not have beans.
Mine. I use mine as a thickening agent, though. I puree them and I use them as a thickening instead of cornstarch.
No.
Yes.
No.
It does wonderful for it.
No, negative, sir.
Uh-oh.
Chili does not have beans.
You would never know they were there if I didn't tell you.
Don't tell me.
I think I'd be able to tell.
I don't think you would.
Yeah. I've been to Texas multiple times. I know what chili is, and you don't put beans in
My
chili.
brother didn't know until
Speaking
I
of
told
chili,
him.
hey, in a couple of months, the chili cook-off is back in town.
Yes.
Yeah, are you going to make it this time?
I believe so.
Because I think the last 2 or 3 years I went, and then I went home and I took a nap because I was in a chili, chocolate, and chowder coma. I left that place in a coma. I barely was able to drive back home. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, geez, I forgot to go. Oh, geez, I wanted to go. Well, I'm giving you ample notice now. It's coming up.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Side chick extraordinaire.
I be here. Ooh, I be
Kathy Palmer.
here. I got to tell you, it's cold out in that cow field. Woohoo!
But the cows aren't bitching about it, are they?
No. When I say that to people, they're not all that cold.
No, they're not.
They're really not that uncomfortable. And think about it. You think of the deer and the bear and all those animals.
Bears sleep through this.
Not through the whole winter, though. They'll sleep in the cold, but they'll come out when it's nice.
I'd like to sleep in the cold.
I mean, I do
Not
too.
outside in the cold, but when it's cold, I just want to sleep.
I know. I just want to put blankets around me and stay.
The cows smile.
I've never seen them smile.
Well, you think the cats and dogs smile, though, right?
My dog.
Because, it looks
smile.
like they smile now.
Yeah, my
then.
dog has a definite smile. People think she's growling, but she'll look at you and she'll bare her teeth. Mm-hmm. But it's her smile. It's not a
So if a
growl.
cat will smile and a dog will smile,
Oh, cats don't smile.
Why can't? What?
Cats don't smile.
I
they
see.
don't care.
I see pictures on the internet all the time of
It's a
cats
mistake.
smiling.
They don't care. Cats don't care. There's the difference. The dog loves you and smiles at you. The cat looks at you and goes, meh. Maybe.
Well, maybe
tomorrow.
the cat is smiling because it's indifferent and it knows that it pisses you off.
That's a possibility. They do their best to do that. Any cat owners out there, please? I love my cats. I adore them, but they are cats.
So we are in agreement then that there are animals that do smile.
Yes. We
So
We
I'm
are.
thinking, cow, horse.
horse.
All right.
Don't horses have like a grin to them? Don't they? Remember Fran? Oh no, you don't. You're too young.
Mr.
You're
Edge used to grin.
Yeah, I was
But I
thinking
think that's because they put peanut butter up in his gum.
Could be. I'm going back further. I'm going back with Francis the Talking Mule. Do you remember Francis the Talking Mule?
I know the character.
It was
yeah.
World War II. I believe it was World War II. I can see the guy who played with him, but for the life of me, I want to say it was Dennis. Dennis O'Connor. Nope. I can't remember. Maybe some of our listeners know. And please call in and tell us what the character was who played with Francis the Talking Mule back in the. We used to watch.
And we're not talking
Yes.
about Dominic the Christmas donkey.
No, we're not talking
Okay.
about Dominic the Donkey. But call us and let us know. I think it might have been Dennis O'Connor, 572-5579 WSFD.
You were able to read that from back there,
I
huh?
can read that from back there.
You are awesome.
I know that. Holy moly. There are some things I'm good at. Reading at a distance, reading up close. Oh, no, forget it.
But of course, when I was out and you were covering for me, you had to have Peter
I had
say the
Peter
phone
do
number.
it. And finally, after I did it for the third time, he did his eye roll and said, "It's right there." I said, "Oh, yeah, it's in front of me." Okay. Now I know that. Cruelty at its best. Cruelty.
It's about time.
He's back. I've got to listen to it. I'm off.
No. Oh, God. I got to tell you something.
Hold on, Bob. There's music playing.
Been waiting for you. Celebrity Big Brother started yesterday on the CBS television network.
I can't believe
The Tiffany network.
the Tiffany Network.
When was the last time you heard CBS referred to as the Tiffany network?
Wait a minute,
right?
for Kathy.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
I've been abandoned.
Unfortunately,
folks.
I don't care, but I still am going to watch
It's
it.
3-1. I can't believe you're ganging up on me. I tried to watch it.
Last night?
I did. I said, okay, for Kenny, I'm going to turn this on. No,
How long's you last?
about 10 minutes.
What was it that got you the most upset?
It was the blonde girl who started complaining about everybody knows everybody here.
Do you know who that is?
No.
That's Lindsay Lohan's mother,
Ah,
Dina Lohan.
That was
She
Dina.
was whining. She
She is a whiner.
was whining that
She'll
they
be out
all-
quick.
They all knew everybody, and I'm the only one, and this is a setup. I said, okay.
She'll
You
be
mean
out
like
quick.
they're all
And-
friends
and-
and they all knew one another? Yeah.
And even the way
That's
she
because they're all
was,
D-list celebrities.
even the way she was, she did not come off as who I think are going to be the loose cannons.
All right, who are the
I have
Hispanics?
I have 3 picked out as loose cannons.
Isn't Dina like an alcoholic?
Well,
She's known for her drinking.
That's one of the loose cannons. Tamar Braxton.
Yeah, she's a wild card because I don't know where she comes from.
And when she walked in, she goes, "Oh, look, that's where the bar is." So we know that they're going to be
Okay.
loading her up. All right, and every time they pan the camera over to her, she's like, "Ah!" Right?
Oh, God, I hate it.
So yeah, Tamar Braxton, early elimination, one of the loose cannons.
Annoying might be a word, right?
Yes, annoying too.
Yeah.
A troublemaker, Candy Burris.
She's been used to troublemaking on the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I think it's
forever.
going to follow her because
Yeah.
she came into that house with a bit of diva attitude.
She has a chip on her shoulder.
Yeah.
She always has had a chip on her shoulder.
Yeah,
There's
I don't
something-
think that's going to with this crowd. I don't think that's going to carry her very far. Another wild or loose cannon, Kato.
I sort of thought that Kato Kaelin.
He's a professional mooch.
Well, let's face it. He doesn't
He has
have
a
much of a
publicity
career.
agent.
Yeah, he has a.
I mean, he's good at it, and he's personable, and he's the kind of
doesn't
little,
he have
the comic sidekick.
Isn't he on radio? Doesn't he have a show?
Yeah, he's got a show. Kato Kaelin
He does?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's a DJ. or
Yeah, he's a
something.
LA DJ.
Yeah.
I I think once the house guests get by who he is, I think the mooch is...
Scaramouche can do the Fandango?
I think he's going to be okay. I really do.
He's
I
a
want to see
slime
him.
ball, though.
I want to see him in his
he
shorts
looks
out
that
of the
way.
out of.
Just looks.
Did he? Look, Kenny, I have to confess something. I forgot to watch Big Brother.
Well,
Gotta
now
stop
when you
telling
get home and watch it off of your VHS player.
Oh,
I-
no. Your VHS.
You did upgrade from the beta, right?
yeah, DHS.
The Betamax?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Sony.
Yeah, yeah,
Bob still has Sony.
Peter is
He's
coming
still
over
using the
to tell
Sony
me
Betamax to record his Regis and Kathy Lee.
Yeah,
No, he's got a two-reel tape recorder.
got it.
Ricky Williams, and he did say at the beginning of the show, everyone was referring to him as a pothead.
The sticky icky Ricky.
Yeah, well now he's the flower child. He's doing this Chinese medicine and herbal stuff.
Oh, yeah, he's always been into that
So
stuff.
there's always one of those on Big Brother. You remember the one from last
The Earthy
season?
Crunchies.
Oh yeah.
What was Rockstar was that one?
Rockstar. Yeah,
all right?
no, yeah.
And they always just they start to get in your face and they become bothersome.
Very, very true.
So Ricky Williams, he's the rock star.
So he's not going to smoke pot in the whole season, is he?
If he's outside in the yard, he's going to be able to.
Will he?
Yeah.
Is it legal in California?
I'm sure he even mentioned that he was going to be high in an interview last night.
How high?
Yeah, and I'll be high.
Can you be? But isn't it illegal? Can anybody know what California is illegal?
California is okay.
You're able to.
It's private. It's private property. You're able to smoke it.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah, you're not.
Everything is okay in California.
Is
That's
it? All
true.
right. Oh, that's
I would agree with that.
Yeah. It's like Las Vegas.
Bye, Jay.
Joey Lawrence seems likable. I think he's going to go far in the game.
He's a smart kid, too.
And he's smart, and he works out. He's going to be good at both the mental and physical challenges.
He's this year's Ross, I think.
He's a father.
Yes, I agree.
He's a very nice young man. Yeah.
Lolo, I think
Oh,
she's
my God, she's beautiful.
right, but
What color is her hair at this time?
she's
No, Lolo is that blondish hair.
yeah.
Oh, blonde. Oh,
She's the Olympian.
Oh, I got it. Oh, Lolo.
She's a
was
hurdler. Olympic hurdler.
I
She's
think
a hurdler.
Yes.
What does that mean? Hurdle.
Jumps over
Oh,
hurdles.
jumps over hurdles. I
Yes,
was
a
thinking it was
hurdler.
with a hurdle with a T.
That's Chris.
When you
he
hurdle,
works here.
You hurdle. Oh, that's there's a
hurdle,
Chris
straddle. What's the
Webster.
difference?
All right.
I think she.
Hurdle.
Oh, I'm not touching that.
I think that Lolo is going to be a floater.
She's already talked about subverting, not wanting to win head of house because she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to seem like she's pushing too hard.
Yeah, in the head of household competition, and she goes, I picked. She actually picked Tom Jones.
I want to make it look good.
Tom Jones.
Yeah, I want to make it
Not
look.
Tom Jones. Tom Green.
Tom Green. I want to make it look good that I made an effort, but with Tom Green, I'm not going to be able to win.
By everybody.
So she is going to try to be under the. That's why I think she was a floater.
Yeah, she might make it to the end just because she's bubbling under.
Yep. Jonathan Bennett and Ryan Lochte. They were the power couple who won the head of household competition.
Lochte was a bad boy of swimming.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember him.
But then he became he's on this crusade to clean up his act.
He's doing this to redeem his image because he lost so much money in endorsements and things like that.
That's right.
He
And
lost
then
a lot
Bennett
of
is
points.
Mr. Cupcake Wars.
Yeah, Bennett.
Is he in the Cupcake Wars?
He's the host.
He's the host of Cupcake Wars.
He is going to be like Lolo. I think he's going to kind of float.
He seems like
for
he's a
the first
smart
2
player.
weeks.
Because
yeah.
when they said that one of those guys is going to be on the chopping block, the guy who didn't win,
Yeah.
one of whoever doesn't win, he's like, oh crap, and he knew his game might be up quick.
Now, Eva Marie, she's the wild card.
Oh, that's
I think
purple hair.
she's
Or
smart enough to.
What color is her hair now?
It was purple
like
and blue
purple,
and
yeah.
black last
Purple,
night.
blue, and black.
But
yeah.
she's smart because she didn't have a lot of skills in the wrestling ring, but she used her skills of promotion and things like that, and she's still doing promotion now. She's promoting her own line of clothes and things like that, workout wear and stuff like that. She's very active on social media still.
Got it.
So there are 3 fans of the show in here. Tamar Braxton was one of them. That makes her dangerous as well as the loose
That's
cannon.
Tony Braxton's sister.
Eva Marie is a super fan.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise
All
me.
right, and that's why I put her in the middle. I think she's going to be able to play both sides. You might see her go into week 3.
If you watch her in Total Divas, she did that same thing in that show.
Mm-hmm. I didn't.
She was able to play
I didn't,
both
but
sides.
I can see how
She was able to play
that way.
both sides of that crew.
Tom Green, I think people are going to keep him around because he's a nutball and he's not a threat. So I think he will make it to week 3 as well.
He's deceptively.
He is, but I think that other people on here just will appear more of a threat than Tom Green.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But he's deceptively. He'll run under the radar too.
Yeah, he was really strange.
Who's the alpha
last week.
male here? Out of all these male, the big alpha.
Lochte.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, followed by
The host, the Bennett. He's
no. I put Mooch over Bennett.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, but
for
he's a
that.
known quantity. He's a one note
Yeah.
person.
All right, and then the alpha female.
Maybe not.
Kathy, you probably want to weigh in here. With the
No,
alpha female.
no, I would not want to weigh
I
in
think
here.
Braxton thinks
No, I'm
she
good.
is, but
Braxton
she's not.
thinks she is, but she's not.
Oh,
Yeah.
but-
I think Dina Lohan is.
She might be. She might be.
She's interested. She was always.
Dina Lohan
She
is-
managed her
She-
daughter's career.
Yeah, managed her right into the ground.
Right.
She surprised me last night. So
She's a player.
yeah.
Why did she surprise you?
I thought that she was going to be a lot more brash and a lot more in your face than what she was. So there are my predictions. Bob, if you had actually watched, you would know what I'm talking about here.
All right, so
You got to come up with nicknames, though.
No, we don't do nicknames for celebrity,
No,
Big
I
Brother.
want because we all know who they are, as opposed to not knowing them at all.
Yeah.
But so we are. I was this week was since I haven't watched. I'm going to say that the winner of Big Brother right now, to me, is going to be this guy right here. What's his name? Joey Lawrence is going to be the winner. You want to make a prediction?
Bob reached over and pushed on my paper here and activated my touchpad.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
All right.
Who are you going to? Who are you?
I'm putting 3 in the top 3 right now.
Yeah.
Joey Lawrence, Eva Marie, and Tom Green.
My pick is Eva Marie. This is her entrance music.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch these shows. I've got one to catch up on, one tonight, one tomorrow night.
One last night, one tonight, one tomorrow night, and then Friday night.
I'll find it interesting if they use this as bridge music during the show.
Oh, my God. 4 hours of Big Brother. Oh, God help me. All right.
We got to fit it all in 3 weeks.
I got it. I'll see you next week.
Don't let me down.
I will not.
Watch Big Brother. Don't go out and volunteer.
I'm going to volunteer, but hey, you got a good show today. Enjoy it.
All right.
All right. Talk to
Bye,
you.
Take us
Bob.
away.
Bye,
Good
sweetie.
week.
Bye.
I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore. I keep forgetting things will never be the same again. I keep forgetting how you made that so clear. I keep forgetting, Lord. Every time you're near, every time I see your smile, hear your hello, say
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com, offering Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Information on all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area is available online at Xfinity.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Wednesday mornings start off right from 6 to 8 a.m. with Tina Gorman and Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
I took Xambrex for over 15 years, till I learned the benefits of Once Daily Sanguelto, our latest generation blood thinner. When I'm at a multiracial picnic for some reason, the last thing I want to do is have a stroke. And thanks to Once Daily Sanguelto, I can eat potato salad with chuckling strangers with the confidence of someone who knows he's 12% less likely to suffer a stroke recurrence. Thanks to Sanguelto, I can snuggle with my age-appropriate wife on a blanket underneath non-holiday related fireworks. I left her for 6 weeks back in 2009, only to realize I was already too old to bed the type of women that would make such a separation worth it. So here we are, grinding it out till one of us has that second stroke that you don't come back from. Thank you, Sanguelto.
Okay, I didn't edit that one. I should have maybe cut that last part out there. But that was a new one.
Okay.
And you know, if I was paying attention, I would have edited that properly. I was done. I had it with editing.
WSKB is sponsored by Sanguelto.
Brought to you by Sanguelto.
Yes.
I finished up the video for First Night.
Yes.
Last night.
I'm working on the canal.
And
putting them slides is not easy.
Thus far, I estimate I have about 20 hours plus into just that one video project.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
And
people think this video editing stuff is easy.
There's about 170 to 180 different video edits that were done on this one project.
Mm-hmm.
So I completed it last night. I sent it off to the president of the board for approval before I make it public, but we should see that come out in the next day or so.
Gotcha.
And I'll be getting it to you to put up on the community programming channel and channel 15 as well.
Thank you.
Yes. So that's probably why I didn't even think about editing that clip. I downloaded it last minute.
Okay, that was a long explanation. You sound like Bob Plass.
Oh, no.
I've spent too much time with him this morning.
Oh, it's
you did.
catching. It's catching. We're
Hey,
in
Pete.
trouble.
Yes.
Hey, Kathy.
Hey, yeah.
Guess what?
What?
We'll make it sweet. We'll make it short. Now here for you is the weather report.
Woohoo.
Why, look at this. It's Nick Morganelli.
Hi, Nick.
Good morning, Nick.
Welcome. We didn't know you were coming today.
All that production work for that.
Thanks for showing up.
Well, see, what the listeners don't know is that Ken was trying to wanted me to find this old audio because the song was made for me twice. The Macarena
Yes.
was revamped to be the Morganelli. once at WKBK radio in Keene, New Hampshire.
Okay.
And they changed the lyrics and everything. They made it like,
Hey,
who is the
Morganelli.
guy that does the better weather better? Nick Morganelli. So they like had all these lyrics to it, and then 22 did it with the kids at the Kids Fest thing at the what's now the Mass Mutual Center, but they did the one nicka, two nicka with the hands, and
That's
people
funny.
still come up to me today, 20 years later, and say, "Hey, Morganelli," so they still remember.
You
that.
don't think we're going to do this, do you?
No,
Okay, good.
no, we don't have to do that.
We're not.
You
gonna
know, when Brad Shepard comes on, I use old bumps that he used 35 years ago.
Oh,
I'm not above playing the Los Del. Well, who originally did Macarena? Los Del Rio.
Los Del Mar.
Los Del Mar. I'm not above playing the Nick version of that song.
Okay.
All right, so we got dumped on yesterday,
Yeah.
and
Well, 3 days ago.
yeah.
Where have you
I
been the
left.
last 2 days, Ken? 'Cause
I've been cowering in the corner because
he's been inside because it's
2 weeks ago I was wearing shorts and a T-shirt out in Nevada.
He's going to rub it in.
And
He's going to rub it in.
And I came home to cold, and then no break, and then the storm.
I actually went out on Saturday night. I watched Whiskey Park up at 7Bs.
And
I saw that.
That's not a haul for you, though.
I know.
And it's a major road, which is usually going to be okay.
Coming into my street was interesting.
Yeah, this weekend it's extremely warm and sunny in Southern California.
You are so mean.
You're talking about Nevada, so I'm just, it's actually looks like it's warmer than Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
Florida,
They're looking at 40s right now in Florida, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a huge a dip in the jet stream. So these upper level winds take a huge dip either in the east or in the west usually, or in the central U.S. and when one side of the country is warm, the other side's cold, and that's just how it goes.
So we're dippy.
We're dipping.
We're
right?
dipping.
Yeah, and it's a huge dip to the south right now. So we've got some Arctic air that moves in.
So no reprieve if I go to Florida this weekend.
Well, yeah, it's always warmer there.
Okay, so it's warm. Is it going to be warm?
You need to go to the extreme southern portion of Florida.
Right.
They have
Good weekend
they
in
have a
Miami.
tropical climate.
or maybe Houston.
Houston,
It's mild, yeah, fairly mild.
Yeah, it's all right in Houston. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah.
Thinking about that now because I've already had it. I'm counting the days to retirement. So when that time comes, I am gonna leave. I'm not going to go to any area that has the potential for any. Well, I can't say that because Vegas gets snow now and then. Matter of fact, when I was out there, I saw snow on the top of the mountains. Yeah, I was out in the sun, shorts and a T-shirt. Yeah, I'm rubbing it in, Kathy.
Yes, I know. While Peter and I were here freezing that day. Remember how cold it was that day? We were thinking of him out there in the
It wasn't as cold as yesterday when I walked across campus.
Yeah, it was the wind chill is what gets you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cold yesterday.
Yeah, and last month we certainly had cold.
Not like this, though.
We didn't get the snow though.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the coldest high temperature they were saying for over a year.
Coldest high temperature, is that an oxymoron?
Yeah.
Yesterday it was.
Yeah.
Like jumbo shrimp.
Wait. What does that mean?
I mean, the high temperature only got to 4. Last year, the highest,
coldest,
the lowest high temperature was 8.
8.
Yeah, it was
okay.
predicted to go to 9, I think, yesterday for Westfield, and didn't
Never
even
quite
make it.
made it.
But the thing is, the
Keep it
computer
away.
models, they didn't know there was snow. Well, they knew there was snow coming, but it's like you don't have the snow on the ground yet, so that data isn't in the model. And
Right.
sometimes it's off because of that. So because whenever you get snow cover like this, you just make your own cold air.
Yeah.
Snow.
You just have a clear night like last night, and you just generate your own cold air. You don't need it to come from anywhere like this came from Canada.
So snow the other day. Last time we had snow prior to that was actually in November.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we're
Why?
dipping.
There's an open-ended question.
Yeah. Well,
He's a weather person.
Well, one of the
Wait a minute. He corrected me last time he was in here. He is a meteorologist.
He's licensed, yeah?
Yes.
I'm licensed.
Yeah. So
I don't have a license, actually. I don't know what that means.
Don't you have a certification from one of the big?
Yeah, American Meteorological Society. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've got my degree, my science degree in meteorology. So that's
So if anyone
that's what counts.
If anyone can answer that question, it would be Nick.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why did we go from November until just 2 days ago without snow?
Well, one of the things is we look at what's called the North Atlantic Oscillation, the NAO. And this is a cyclical thing. It has to do with the pressure patterns in the North Atlantic. So that allows, actually, when it goes negative, okay, that allows the jet stream to take a dip to the south over the northeast, over the eastern portion of the U.S. And then you get these storm tracks that come up the coast. And a lot of times when you have this negative NAO, you have a lot of East Coast storms. You get the nor'easters. So this last storm didn't really wind up off the coast. It kind of just moved through, and we got a lot of warm air because it didn't redevelop off the coast. So we got the warm air that came in above the storm, and we got a mix of all that sleet and even some freezing drizzle. And so these that East Coast development, that redevelopment, if that doesn't happen, you get a warmer storm. When it develops, then it kind of everything pulls to the coast. The cold air gets pulled down, and then you end up with a whopper. You get all snow or something like that. The ski areas made out really well with this last storm, though. I
could imagine.
They got about 18 inches at Mount Snow, which is
the northern
about
ski
an
areas,
hour and 20 minutes from here.
Everything north of the Mass border got all snow. It never changed.
No
nothing. It was just
icing?
all snow. No, all snow.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned the North Atlantic Oscillation. I think in the summer you brought up the North Atlantic Oscillation too. So it's not just a winter thing.
No. It's a pressure pattern that happens, and it swings. It can swing. It can take a couple of weeks and then swing the other way. It can go for 6 weeks and stay where it is, and it determines
where the Gulf Stream lies and what it does.
No, that's water based.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But it can push cold air out over the Gulf Stream, and then it can push the water, and then the water may shift a little bit. So in a way, it can affect that. But that's kind of a semi-permanent thing with the Gulf Stream waters. And the other thing is El Nino. Everybody knows El Nino. It's the warm Pacific waters. When the waters warm up at the surface in the Pacific, that's an El Nino.
That became a thing like 15 years ago, El Nino.
Oh, even before that.
Yeah.
I think it started getting covered in the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. People are like, it's global warming. And then they were like, it's El Nino.
Yeah.
That's been happening for a long time.
Yeah. So the El Nino is, it's just this shifting mass of water. The sea surface temperatures warm up in the Pacific, and then in the eastern Pacific, when it warms up there, off the coast of Chile and Ecuador, out that way, that shifts the whole jet stream and the patterns, and we end up usually getting a weak hurricane season and in the summer, but we'll get a milder winter. We'll have more rain events when there's a strong El Nino. If it's not very strong, then it can go either way. But there's indications that El Nino may be coming back for the spring.
And what will that do for us?
That means Punxsutawney Phil won't see his shadow.
Yeah, pretty much. It'll just
like that?
Woo! I really like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it might mean we don't get a March snowstorm or an April snowstorm this year. Actually, Easter Sunday's late this year. I was looking at that. It's like April 17th, or so. It's really late.
Yep.
So it's whenever that's early, sometimes you get snow on Easter Sunday. Everybody's all dressed up and it's snowing.
You did hear Ken's lament about his punchkis, though. He's only got a month this year before.
Yeah,
Ash Wednesday.
Fat Tuesday is March 5th.
March 5th.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's the end of punchki season.
Well, they still have some available though. After that, you can stash some away.
No.
No,
Big Y cuts them
off. You don't
off.
freeze them and bring them out on the 4th of July?
They're not the same.
Oh.
Although there is a shop in Philadelphia that makes them year-round that I can go to.
Road trip.
He's already searched
Road
the
trip,
internet
Peter.
for the
Road trip.
who makes punchkis year-round.
Can you get them on Amazon.com?
Yeah, Amazon.
take him
Joan
down.
will deliver it to your house.
I'll take him down to Babe Ruth headquarters. It's just a quick shot across the bridge.
There you go.
I just... I forget where I was going to go. It was going to be punchki related. And Nick said you can always go get them, and I go, well, I tried to, but they didn't have my Bavarian cream. I don't. Did you hear? Did you hear that this morning?
Has to be.
No, I didn't.
I went to the one market I get my punchki at, and they were completely wiped out of the Bavarian cream, and I went early, like noon. No Bavarian cream, and those are the best ones.
Yeah, those are good. I like those.
And I just pissed me off so much. Oh my God.
He ranted about it earlier this morning.
And he's still ranting about it.
That's true. Yeah.
That's all right.
So anybody out there listening, if you can find a Bavarian cream punchki, bring it to Ken next Tuesday here at Ken's Den. All right, there you go. I put a plug in for you.
There you go. We're
There'll
good.
be people lined up at the door out here
with Bavarian cream punchki.
They'll be through the glass window. They'll be like, "I got your punchki."
I'm just picturing that happening now. Someone walking in, and Kenny looks over the door, and somebody comes walking in, and they have it on a tray, and all of a sudden a spotlight comes down from the ceiling and starts to illuminate it. Yeah.
See? Have I spent too long with Ken?
All that build up just to do.
There are no more words. There are no more words. We're so done.
So the El Nino pattern is it a prediction of how summer may go as well?
Oh, sure, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it'll shift the jet stream, and then it can affect your summer weather, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, what it does is it usually brings a lot of strong stratospheric winds, upper-level winds, out over the Caribbean, and so it just shuts off the storm growth for hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's going to happen into, March, April, if it continues into the summer, then we could have a lean hurricane year, but we'll see.
Where does the
insurance companies are cheering?
Yeah.
Where does the stratosphere start in the ceiling?
In your ceiling?
Well,
probably
it's where the punchki light is.
You smart guy, you know what I'm talking about. At what elevation is the stratosphere at?
I think it's over 40,000 feet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's up there.
I was just checking because there's a building in Vegas called the Stratosphere.
Yes.
And you can go up at the top of it.
Yeah.
But I can still
it's
breathe.
not in the stratosphere.
Okay. No,
yeah.
There's still air there.
The troposphere is the lowest 11 kilometers.
Oh, okay.
And then you get above that, and you get into the other layers.
Mm-hmm.
You remember them from physical science.
Ionosphere
right?
is
Stratosphere,
one, right?
I think.
That's the highest one.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Stratosphere, I think you can see the curvature of the Earth, so I think it's above 50,000 feet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Usually.
If I had a hazard a guess.
And it varies, too, because you go from the equator to the pole. The atmosphere is thicker at the equator than it is at the pole. That's why you get bigger thunderstorms down there. The storms down in southern Texas can grow to 60,000 feet,
right?
And you get the anvil at 60,000.
Oh.
Here, we don't get anvils at 60,000 feet.
Uh-huh. We get them at like 30 or 40.
Maybe.
That's why. That's why when you're flying at 40,000 feet, it's generally uneventful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the last time I saw lightning outside the window of a plane I've been in.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen I've seen little men sitting on the wing, but I haven't seen any lighting.
Where's the Twilight Zone sound effect? For anyone that remembers that
he
one.
didn't say that. I do.
Yeah.
That was what's his name?
I don't have Twilight Zone, but I've got
that's
that.
Close enough.
Stop it.
But yeah, it's the tropopause that is where those clouds hit the tropopause, and then and that's a shift in the temperature, and then all of a sudden the anvil starts right at the tropopause. Mm-hmm. Above that is the stratosphere.
And we're not talking about the anvil that usually falls on Wile E. Coyote after he goes off a cliff.
Yeah.
An Acme anvil.
No, not that one.
All right. I'm waiting for Kathy to react to that.
No, I'm just listening to all this and waiting for the Punchki to come back into the stratosphere somewhere. I know it's coming. I know he's going to segue right back to Punchkis.
Well, we got to go to break in a minute. I want to ask Kathy, though. So yesterday I walked into the house. I said to my wife, I go, that's it, we're moving. I said, I can't take this cold anymore. We're moving. And so why are you still here in Westfield all these years bearing the cold? You must like the cold.
I don't know about the cold.
What would the cows do without her?
You know, listen, I got to tell you, it was a couple years ago, and it was this freezing cold weather, and it was the wind chill. It was terrible. It was like yesterday. And I happened to look out my window, and I saw a cow out in the field, and I didn't think a lot about it.
And it just fell over.
That's the common thing out there, right?
But then I kept looking and kept saying, why is she just standing there? Why is she standing there? And I had to call Terry. She'd had a calf out in this weather.
Oh, wow.
Out there in this weather. And the calf was fine.
Yeah.
The calf was just fine.
Wow.
I mean, holy...
It had the mucus protection, probably.
Nature does nature.
Well,
nature does what it does. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's part. I don't know, but I said to him, did it live? And he said, yeah, it's fine. In that cold weather, how do you do that? How on earth do you do that? Yeah.
I need to take a break. It's the top of the hour, 9:01, almost 9:01 and a half. We'll be back with weather futures and this coming week's forecast with Nick Morganelli after this.
Underwriters here at WSKB's Community Radio is Carson Center for Health and Human Services, a nonprofit organization located at 20 Broad Street in Westfield. They provided behavioral health and rehabilitation services in communities throughout Western Massachusetts since 1963. There are services for children, adolescents, adults, families, and couples. You can find them on the web at carsoncenter.org or at 413-572-4132. Underwriting for WSKB's community radio programming is brought to you in part by R. Levesque Associates. They are offering landscape architecture, civil engineering, environmental permitting, and land surveying. RLA is a second-generation company devoted to excellence in the planning and design of outdoor spaces. On the web at rlaland.com or at 40 School Street in Westfield.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Discussions of local politics, events, happenings, and miscellany potpourri. Ken's Den, Tuesday, 8 to 10. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Missing persons.
Missing persons?
Missing persons.
My wife is missing.
Your wife is missing?
My wife is missing.
When did you last see her?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Where's your TV, sir?
The bedroom.
Have you looked in the bedroom, sir?
No.
She's probably watching Matlock.
Matlock is on at 4 o'clock?
Every weekday at 4 on Channel 2. Go check your bedroom, sir. I'll wait.
Okay. Hello?
I'm here.
She's watching Matlock.
I thought so.
I didn't know Matlock was on at 4 o'clock.
Every weekday at 4 on Channel 2.
She really likes Andy Griffith.
Of course she does.
She must be so engrossed by Matlock she forgot to tell me where she was.
Tell her I understand.
Okay, I'll be right back.
No, I didn't mean no. Sir?
Matlock, every weekday at 4 on Channel 2.
Hey, my favorite episode.
Because there's nothing like a good mystery.
I'm hanging up now, sir. Hello?
That's a great ad, actually.
That's funny.
908
funny.
on the nose.
That's funny.
This is the 22nd day of January in the year 2019, Anno Domini. This is Den, Ken's Den. Ken Stomsky behind the microphone. In front of the Radio Millennium Board is Peter Coles, Kitten of the Keys, Chairman Meow, and he's also the January jerk of the...
He's back to that again, isn't
Yes, I know. He's got to bust me on the birthday month. Yeah, I got it.
Kathy Palmer, side chick extraordinaire.
I be here. I be here.
I'm joined by Nick Morganelli.
Hello.
He is not here for city business.
Right. Yeah, he's here for weather business.
He's here for weather
Weather.
business.
Business, yes.
Yeah. City business is in 2 weeks with the new council president.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll mention that at the end of my show.
I know.
All right.
So this is how crazy it is, right? We go from 0 and wind chills of 20 below, and now we're going to have rain on Wednesday night.
Yeah, in the 40s.
Maybe a little freezing rain at start, or a couple of sleep pellets, but it's mostly rain on Thursday morning when everybody heads out to work.
I always love when the high temperature for the day is at midnight.
Yeah.
And then it only goes worse. It only goes downhill.
Going down all,
Downhill all the way.
So does that mean it's going to melt all the snow away?
No, it
The
won't.
rain?
It won't. But it'll squash it down a little bit, and it won't get. It won't be like a flash freeze after it. So
Hopefully,
that's
it'll
good.
take some of the crap off the road.
So the stuff that's on the blacktop might clear up a bit then.
Yeah, and it should help the roads a little bit because it'll fix that a little, and then it'll dry up before it refreezes. So that should be good.
So I want to talk about what's going to be happening this coming week and weather for the weekend. But before we get there, what's the long range like? What are we in for? Educated guess for the next couple of months.
Yeah, I mean,
where's it trending?
Yeah, I really think we're going to continue to see what we're seeing now that's my alarm telling me I got 3 or 4 more minutes with you.
Even
though my phone's on silent, I'm surprised it's still raining.
I'm clock watching.
Yeah.
So.
But I think we're going to still see the same thing. We'll have shots of cold air that won't last very long, and then we'll have warm up, and the storms could be, it could be hit or miss. It could be snow or a mix or rain, depending on when they come. And if El Nino, like I said, ends up showing itself by March and April, then that's pretty much going to shut off, chances for snow in the spring, which is a good thing. People don't like to see the March and April, they're ready for spring. And we're gaining, in a couple of weeks, we'll be gaining 2 minutes of daylight every day. The sun actually was, even this morning coming in here at 8:30, it's you can feel it. It's stronger now. We're a month after the solstice, the winter solstice. So it's all uphill from here as far as the weather goes.
I still have another month or two of my blue light on my desk, though.
Okay.
I don't know if it helps, but I'm afraid to turn it off and find out otherwise.
Yeah.
I know.
A lot of people have the seasonal affective.
I do. I suffer from it. I go on medication and I use the blue light in the winter.
Good.
Yeah, it just my body actually hurts this time of year.
So if you want to see Ken out there sunbathing today out on the Westfield State University campus, he should get out there and get some sun.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be sunbathing today.
But we have the big Amelia Park Children's Museum penguin plunge this Saturday. So the weather for that, and we need more plungers. We need people to sponsor people that are plunging. So go to their website. Was it APCM? AmeliaParkMuseums.org. Is that right? Amelia Park Museums.
Just Google Amelia Park Children's Museum.
Or the Plunge 2019. It's the 15th annual. I'll be there emceeing. You're going to be there, right?
Yeah, Jay and I are going to be showing up early, setting up the speakers, and making sure you guys sound good.
And the weather is sunny right now. It should be like low to mid 20s with a light to moderate breeze. It probably won't be much wind, but when you're at the water's edge the icy edge, there's a breeze that comes across. It's a west wind, so it'll come across the lake. It might be more like 10 miles per hour right
3
there.
years ago, it was 3 or 4 years ago, Jay and I were out there
that was
working sound.
Awful.
And it was like
it was 7.
0 hour. It was
7 and the wind chill was
7 and the wind was just
minus
miserable.
7 below, yeah.
And we set up our equipment inside of this trailer, and we had 2 heaters running in his trailer, and we could not get warm that day. So not like that.
No, not that brutal. And there's warming tents there, so those that want to plunge, you can still do that. I think you have to raise $50, so you just
75.
So you just ask a few people. Hey, I'm going to jump in Hampton Ponds and for the kids, for the and
That's a great cause, yeah.
Yeah, it's to support the Children's Museum. And I mean, Al First left all this wonderful gem in Westfield for all the kids to enjoy, all the families. I mean, the ice skating, the park, the Amelia Park.
It's beautiful.
And a lot of people discovered those that complex for the first time a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the Children's Museum. I think I heard the tally was 1,300 people walk through the door.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 1,300 people in 2.5 hours.
Awesome.
I believe it. It was mobbed.
It was mobbed. It was a lot of fun, and the place was packed for 2.5 hours.
At Amelia Park, you couldn't get in the door.
The skating rink.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the s'mores were out in an hour.
It could have been the hoop skirt I was wearing. I couldn't get through the crowd.
I know she was dressed. She was beautiful.
Yeah.
Her and the witches were just. They strolled in, and the kids were like, "Wow."
The white witches. It was like Narnia.
Well,
out
it's
there.
great.
It was really cool. It was
They're
really
so
cool.
busy looking at the sparkling shirt, they don't get up to the wrinkles on my face. So we're good. We're good.
Kathy, if you weren't hot, you wouldn't be my side chick here, okay?
Ken, have you had your glasses?
I've got my readers on right now.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Nick, I want to thank you for taking some time out of your morning to come in here and talk about weather.
Thank you for having me here. Appreciate it.
All right.
You have a website, Nick?
No, but you can follow. Not yet, but you can follow me on Twitter at Weather with Nick, and on Facebook. I think that page is up at Weather. I'm not using it too much right now, but once my website is done, then I'll have that too. It'll be weatherwithnick.com.
There you go.
And we'll have you in to talk about that.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
Thank you.
9:15 on the nose. We'll be back right after this.
Underwriting for WSKB's community radio programming is brought to you in part by Dunkin' Donuts, providing new handcrafted espresso drinks and all-day breakfast sandwiches. There's more to love with DD Perks, a loyalty program that's loyal to you. On the web at DunkinDonuts.com and at several locations throughout Westfield, including the Ely Campus Center.
Underwriting for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield, serving the youth of the Whip City and surrounding communities since 1969. For more information on the Great Futures Club for ages 3 to 5, happening weekdays, and the Club Teen Center for ages 11 and older, weekdays from 6:30 till 8 p.m., go online at bcgwestfield.org or visit the club at 28 West Silver Street. The Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield. Great futures start here. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Discussions of local politics, events, happenings, and miscellany potpourri. That's what you'll find on Ken's Den, Tuesdays from 8 till 10.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Welcome to Monday Morning's Community Connection with your host, Diana McLean.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Oh, wait, can I just...
You don't remember your music?
See, I was silent.
I was distracted with
my spinner. I was seeing if she was just going to automatically pick up on that and start up.
I thought she was going to.
For a second, I thought so.
I heard Jay's voice, and then I was distracted by this thing, and I was trying to remember what you call that. And then all of a sudden I thought, that's him.
Yeah, this one distracts you with lit colors, too.
Oh,
isn't that awesome?
That's perfect for the silent disco. Is that why you brought it? For silent disco?
No, I've worn out headphone or headset cords here.
Oh, you're fidgety.
Because if I didn't have this or a pen, I'd be wrapping the wire around the finger like this.
Did you see the video for "Perfect" with Ed Sheeran? I think you can see him playing with his headphones too. Mm-hmm. You're just like Ed Sheeran. You have that in common. Who knew?
That might be the only thing.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But I think watch the video. You'll see.
Yeah, I think if Pete thinks about it now, we go back 4 years, and I'm
much better with a fidget spinner.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Diana McLean back in the studio here at SKB. How does it feel?
Well, it's different because we would have to get here so early because it was the Monday 6 a.m., right?
Yes.
And I remember I got a coffee this morning, and I remember I was always cutting it close when I had to be here for 6.
So does Bob Plass.
Oh, he cuts it close?
Yeah, 6 o'clock right on the nose, or 6:01.
Mm-hmm. So,
this morning we played Herb Alpert.
Parking's harder at 9 versus
way harder.
5:30.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm here. I made it, so it's good.
Yeah. So she mentioned Jay 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And you, Pete, and myself are here. Mm-hmm. We happen to be music technixons for something coming up.
Yes.
Right.
What would that be, Diana?
That would be silent disco.
Kathy loves my segues.
It's silent disco, and I don't know.
Yeah, how did you come across this? Because I didn't know about it until you told me about it.
Right. Well, I hadn't either, and I was texting with my daughter, who's in New York. She's 25, and she said, I'm heading out to silent disco. And I said, what is that? And she said, I don't know. I'll tell you after I go. So she didn't know either. And the next day she said, oh, my God, it was such a blast. So what it is it's the perfect party, really, because if you like to dance, and there's not a lot of dance places around anymore, so if you like to dance, but you also like to talk to your friends that you're with, which I always struggle with when you're going to a place that has loud music, and, by the end of the night, you have no voice left. So you go in, they give you a pair of headphones, like we're wearing, only these headphones have an LED light on them. and there's 3 different colors, and you have 3 DJs, and each DJ is playing a different genre of music. So how great is that if you're listening to a song and you this isn't working for me, so then you
like
turn
changing the channel in your car.
Right.
This actually got started in L.A. about 10 to 15 years
ago.
ago.
You've done your research.
Well, I actually knew about it
okay.
before you brought it up to me.
Oh, okay.
But 10 to 15
but
years.
You thought I was saying silent auction.
Yeah. Originally, I thought you were pulling me and Pete into a silent auction.
I was like, what the heck?
That's why I showed up to our meeting, and I'm like, why do you need multiple DJs for an auction?
Yeah. I was so proud of you to show up anyway to see what it was about. But so it's great because, and it's kind of puts the pressure on the DJs because if everybody, it's a different color per genre. So.
These Channel 50 lap, and I utilizing this program here. This is called Virtual DJ.
Yes,
and
we're treating it as a competition.
It is definitely.
He and I are both on a level playing field with our knowledge of music, with our selection, and with the software we're using.
Yes.
So it's just going to be how we tie one to another. We are going to be mic'd up. We might interact.
I could see that. Like if you say to everybody go to the left side of the room or whatever, and then the other people
throw your hands in the air. That's a great idea.
Yeah, you know, and people are like panic, like, oh no, what's over there, or so you can have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah,
you can have a lot of fun
you see,
with
the
it.
thing is now, each DJ is going to be illuminated, and as you know, I help Jay with his lighting a lot with concerts and shows. The one color you don't use to illuminate people is green. And Pete has green.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we only use green
really?
at Christmas time for the tree lighting.
Does it make you look
Green
gray?
is money, baby.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
And wearing green. Wearing green under the
really?
lights. Yeah,
I
it
didn't
comes out
know
funny.
that. So we're learning all kinds of things this morning. You guys are the best, though, really. When I was nervous about this, the reason why when I heard about it, I thought, wow, we need something different. Because we're actually, for this, the reason why we're doing this is to raise money for Amelia Park Children's Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it is a fundraiser. And it's tough to bring in something different that hasn't been done before for fundraising. We have our Penguin Plunge, which we'll be talking about, which is different around here. But, you have a lot of great events, and we are such a great community. We're a very generous community, and we have so many nonprofits in town, so it's hard to... it's hard to get those funds to keep your nonprofit running, especially these days. So, but what struck me is when we had that first meeting with Jay and Pete and you, Ken, is I didn't know what you were talking about, first of all. Once we gave you guys the idea, it's like all of a sudden there was a whole new language being spoken.
We were trying to figure out what we were going to do for genres to fit this market.
Yeah,
you
Kathy, you know how your eyes glaze over when Pete and I start talking tech? That kind of happened.
Right.
That kind of happened to Diana when Jay and Pete and I started talking about equipment and
we'll
sound.
do this. We'll wire this. We'll come in here. We'll have to come in here.
Diane,
and
just sit there and nod.
I just felt this weight off my shoulders because I thought, it's risky because this is one event where you have to rent, your headphones and everything. So there's some money up front, and you worry, is this going to work? Technically, I mean, it could be if you have people who don't know what they're doing, like me, it's really important for this to all come together. And I just felt this calmness, like, oh my God, thank God that we have you guys, because you know all of this stuff, and you have all the toys, as you say, and the community has, come to you many times, many times for things. And that was one of your concerns is, you're busy with the 350th. How are you going to fit this in and make it work? So we're very fortunate to have you guys.
The dates just worked out for everything.
Right.
Yeah, I actually
did. February 9th is our date.
I do have a caller on the line. I'm about to go into a break, but I want to find out who it is.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller.
You're live on WSKB.
Good morning, everyone. It's Rick.
Hi, Rick.
Rick Berry.
Good morning.
Excellent.
Hi, Rick.
We're
You can go through the break. I'll let you go.
well, I was going to do. I want to do a quick break, and then we're going to get into the plunge, and then we'll talk about the Children's Museum in general while we have Rick, and then we'll do a recap with the silent disco. So I think I have a good plan there. Quick break. Rick, we'll be right back.
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardie siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value. One of our underwriters here at WSKB's Community Radio is Carson Center for Health and Human Services, a nonprofit organization located at 20 Broad Street in Westfield. They provided behavioral health and rehabilitation services in communities throughout Western Massachusetts since 1963. There are services for children, adolescents, adults, families, and couples. You can find them on the web at carsoncenter.org or at 413-572-4132.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
9:31, going on to 9:32. I have Diane McLean in the studio. We were talking about the fundraiser Silent Disco that's going to be happening in February. I'm going to get back to that in just a bit with the where and why and how and everything else. But I do have a caller on the phone who has rather strong connections to the Children's Museum, and he has plunged 14 out of the 15 years, I believe, something like that. Rick Berry is on the phone. Good morning, Rick. And did Pete not cue him up?
I don't know if Rick can hear us.
I don't know. Let's see.
Rick, are you there?
All right.
Yep,
I don't think
Oh,
Pete queued
good.
I don't think Pete queued you up. Are you there now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, there you are.
You left us, Peter.
Pete, we were talking about how wonderful you were, and then you
I had the perfect throw to Rick on the telephone, and I'm like, and here's Rick Berry, and I'm getting nothing. And then I look over and I see you didn't.
That's okay. I just got a pipe froze at Studio 120, so as soon as I'm done here, I got to fly down there.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that after the break. Good morning, Rick Berry.
Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing there today?
Good. How are you, Rick?
I'm doing okay. I've been at work since 5:45 this morning. So
I can relate.
Up and at 'em in the cold weather.
Well,
the cold weather doesn't bother you, Rick. With you doing the plunge every year but one, right?
Yes, sir. That's right. I've done it for 14 years out of the 15 that we've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick has raised more money as an individual to the Amelia Park Children's Museum than anyone else. I mean,
that's made him a Penguin Excelsior, right?
Right. Well, just collectively over his years, the amount of money that he's brought into the museum as an individual equals probably a couple of grants.
Now, Rick. What's your draw or purpose to put all your effort into the Children's Museum like that?
Well, you know, when I first started this, it was a challenge from a former employer that I was working for. And they were a sponsor of the event. So I told them, said, look, if you raise this amount of money in the week before the event, I will do it. And lo and behold, I didn't realize that they already had the money in hand.
Whoops.
So I was kind of suckered into doing it. And then I started to get involved with the Children's Museum and knowing what they were about and what it was and what it meant for our community. And it was one of those things that just drove me that, say, we need this in our community. We need it to thrive. We need it to grow. We need it to be better. We need it to be better and better every year so everybody keeps coming back.
I remember that. I remember watching you plunge. That was how I got to know you, and I think I was on the board at the time, and we had the after party. You still had on your Hawaiian shirt, and I went up to you, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, you're our what do we call you, Excelsior?
Penguin Excelsior.
Penguin. And I said, well, I wanted to get your feedback, and it seemed like you had a lot of ideas about how we could do better, and that's how we got you in. I don't know if you remember that, but that's how we got you in to get more involved with the Children's Museum. So it's been quite a few years. And you, so that's your costume, right, Rick? You have that Hawaiian tourist, is that what you call it?
Yeah, kind of show up as the geeky tourist. You know, I've got the black socks with the sandals and the, the mismatched clothes and,
straw hat.
So
we're talking about the costume.
You're kind of looking like the uncle that everyone warns you about, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the scary part is my niece said to me one year, this all came out of his closet.
This is this Saturday. The Penguin Plunge is this Saturday, so Rick will be plunging, and we hope we have about 100 plungers. They can register on site at 11:30.
Or they can pre-register as well.
They can go online right now to westfieldplunge.com, and they can start the process, and they can print out a form and start getting their sponsors, because that's what it's all about. It's really about raising money for the Amelia Park Children's Museum, so that's a big part of it.
So you do need to pay to plunge.
Yes.
Either yourself or you
can
raise
sponsor
the money.
yourself. Yeah.
You can sponsor yourself, or you can get 10 people because it's $75 and you get a T-shirt.
So as a team with 10 people,
you still individually.
You still individually get a shirt?
Yeah.
Well, you have to individually you sign the waiver form and everything. As an individual,
every person has to raise $75.
Thank you. Thanks.
Right. Yeah. So if you have a team of 10, you need $750.
Correct.
Okay.
And
all right, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Tell us where.
Right. It's at Hampton Ponce State Park.
State Park at what time?
It's 11:30 if for walk-in registrations. We actually start plunging at 1. We start and it goes really, really fast.
I wonder why.
I think last time I played 2, maybe 3 songs.
Through the whole thing?
And it was done.
Right. Well, we want people to get warmed up quickly.
Yeah.
And
Rick, how fast do you get in and get out of the water?
Well, me personally, I usually stay in a lot longer than most people do. But most people are in and out of there. We're probably within less than a minute. And we have a bell that you can go out and ring the bell. It's kind of a prestige thing. If you can get out to ring the bell, it really is great. We've got the firemen on site for safety reasons. If anybody's concerned about people being safe or anything happened to them, that is one of our biggest concerns is the safety of everybody. I get asked by the firemen, you are getting out of the water now, right? Because I end up staying in a little bit longer than everybody else does, just to make sure that, the people that are jumping with me, have fun and get out and know that I'm there supporting them and everybody and supporting everybody.
Rick, what is the bell? What is the bell for? You said ringing the bell.
Yeah, the ringing the bell is just kind of a prestigious thing. You just get out to the deepest part of the water that we have opened it up to because the firemen do come out and cut a hole in the ice so we can get out there and people can get wet, and they go out and they ring the bell. Just kind of a prestigious thing, and it makes it like a party atmosphere for everybody.
I'm pretty sure everybody ends up ringing that bell. But we've had some really cold years, and I remember telling people as they're about to go in, you can just put your foot in there. I didn't want anybody to feel like, oh my gosh, I've come this far. I really don't want to do this. So we kind of give them that out, but that's never happened. I think they always go and ring it's a cowbell. Would you say it's waist high? How deep is it at the deepest? Is it waist high or shoulder?
It's usually about waist high, or depending on how far the firemen can get the ice cut out for us.
We don't make it painful.
3 feet.
It's not like you have to swim. You don't have to swim.
It's not painful at all.
You don't have to submerge. Yet there are people who do.
There are some who do. We have a lot of regulars actually who will do their thing, and some of them wear the same costume every year. We have one guy who wears a cheese head for Wisconsin football.
It's always fun to see what suit Don's going to retire.
I know.
Don retires a suit every year.
I know.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yes.
He's been another one who's plunged every year.
Every single year.
And it doesn't faze him at all. He's
now the first year it was downtown in a dunk tank, wasn't it?
No, the first year was actually at Congamon.
Oh, okay.
What was the name of the restaurant there?
The Brass Rail or something.
Yeah, it was a small group. They had a little bonfire, but what was nice is that you could go inside, and we had raffles, and so it could be more of like a winter carnival kind of a thing, but we outgrew that. And one year, I think in transition, when they couldn't do it at Congamon anymore, and Hampton Ponds, I don't think was an option. I think that's when they did the pool on the town
Park Square.
Yeah.
That's what I'm remembering. Yeah.
And then after that, the theme was back at the beach. Only it was, I think, Hampton Ponds at the time. So we try to do a different theme every year. So this year is to celebrate the 350th. So our logo mimics the 350th with the fireworks. But
I've seen that. Yeah, it's a nice logo.
Yes, it is, and
it really
it's kind of
catchy.
Mimics. Yes.
And hiding the penguin.
Oh, we're hiding the penguin around town.
That's adorable. That's adorable. What a great marketing.
Yes, it's
Tell
a lot
us
of
about that.
fun. Penguin Pete is a stuffed penguin about 2 feet tall, and we move him around the downtown, where all the businesses in Westfield. And if you if you find him, we give you a hint. And if you find him, you take a selfie with him and then post it to Experience Westfield, the Facebook page. And then you're automatically entered into a contest because we take note of that. We'll write their information, their name on a raffle ticket, and then we will pull that the day of the plunge. They don't have to be present. So we would contact them by Facebook, and it's $100 cash and some Kohl's cash. That's about $50, and another some other gift certificates as well.
And of course, we're talking about Penguin Pete, not Producer Pete. Do not stop Pete and try to take a picture.
We are not looking for him.
No, we're not.
We still will, but there's no prize there. We're not in a raffle. Sorry.
He is a prize, but not the prize that you need to look for.
Yeah. Are you expecting a rather large crowd this year? Because I did notice you and Rick were on a mass appeal regarding this as well.
Yes. You want to take that, Rick? Are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The people over at Mass Appeal were gracious enough to have us on last Friday, and what a great time, and gave us some great exposure for our event. And they were having a lot of fun with this. This is the second year that we've done it with them, and just to talk and promote the event and promote the city of Westfield.
And he actually got into the same penguin suit that you usually run around in?
Yes, there's a group of us that take time doing it. And Danny, the host over there, had a blast. He was last year. He was running around the studio with it, running in and out of the office.
Danny looked like he actually had a real blast wearing that costume.
He had fun, but we did notice he made for a creepy penguin because he's so tall.
He's tall.
He made a tall, skinny penguin, and it was so funny because it's not like the cutesy little
waddler.
The little waddler.
Yeah.
It's just, and the way he was walking, he was like strutting like he was walking. It's like, I don't know. He did not look kid friendly, but he had fun, and we had fun. Rick and I had fun. So it was good. It was great exposure for us.
Excellent. I have a break coming up. Rick, anything you want to get out about the plunge?
Well, yeah, I encourage people to come out and join us and have fun. We're going to have the fire department there serving chili. There's going to be hot chocolate and goodies to eat, and then we're all going to jump in the water. And we encourage come and join us. Have fun. Jump in the water. And if you don't want to jump in the water, help out a plunger with a donation. You know, one of the things I wanted to say is first night, the group from the 350th put on a phenomenal event at the Amelia Park complex. We had over 1,200 people through our door, and people who have never been there. And people will go, this place is amazing. And for those people who were there, and if they know that this place was amazing, that everybody that was there that night was volunteering their time. And that's what it takes. And we need the donations to continue to do events like that and to help out our community with different events. So that's just help out a plunger. Donate $5, donate $10. And my tagline is, if we all do a little, we can all make a difference, and that's
I have
one of the reasons why I do it.
One quick question for you, Rick. Is there any way, if people go there just to watch, is there a way they can donate without having to designate it to a diver? Suppose they don't know a plunger. Is there a way they can just donate money?
Yeah, we will have a have a donation bucket right at the registration table, and there will be people going around and just walk up to the registration table or one of our volunteers and ask about it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Diana, while we have Rick, anything else you want to touch upon regarding the plunge?
No, I love what he said about the 350th event and the New Year's Eve event. I thought that was perfect because that was one of the best events I've seen in Westfield, because it really utilized what I consider to be the children's campus, and to be all work together, it went flawlessly.
As a member of that board, you have no idea the work and the prep that went into all
believe
that.
it. To make it look so smooth, a lot of work. It's always the way when there's a lot of work in the up front, everything runs smoothly, and so people don't really see the work part.
We were sweating for 2 weeks prior to that.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was really incredible.
Kenny, and just one more thing, and the people who don't volunteer or do events and stuff like that, and I do a number of different events through different communities, and I know what it takes to put on an event like that, and you are exactly right. It is a stressful situation for everybody who is a volunteer or organizing events like this.
Yeah, we had no idea how many people were going to show up. Yeah, we were sweating.
Well, you had a party, that's for sure.
We did.
You had a party.
All right, that's all about the plunge. I'm going to do a quick break. We're going to get back to the disco. Rick, I want to thank you for calling in.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll talk to you guys soon.
We'll see you on Saturday.
See you, Rick.
All right. Have a good one.
Okay.
Underwriting for WSKB's community radio programming is brought to you in part by Dunkin' Donuts, providing new handcrafted espresso drinks and all-day breakfast sandwiches. There's more to love with DD Perks, a loyalty program that's loyal to you. On the web at DunkinDonuts.com and at several locations throughout Westfield, including the Ely Campus Center.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Welcome to Monday morning's Community Connection with your host, Diana McClain.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Hey?
I gotta cut it back after the break.
It's amazing what I have on this laptop here.
That's because I gave my archive.
Maybe I'll play that during the silent disco.
What?
That bump.
Are we on?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can picture these people dancing.
She's out of practice.
You can picture these people dancing out on the floor, and then all of a sudden...
Welcome to Monday morning's Community Connection with your host, Diana McClain.
We're going to screw everybody up.
There'll be everybody about a collective sigh, like, what?
WSKB.
I want my music back.
Bring back memories there?
Yes.
All right.
It does.
Yeah, I won't do that. I won't play that at the disco.
All right.
So back to the disco. We know...
Can I say one thing?
Oh, no, you can't. Absolutely not.
Oh, well, Kathleen had mentioned.
She's going to do it anyway.
donate.
You can't say.
Diane,
no,
he does this to me all the time.
You can't look at Diana McClain and say no.
Right.
I've tried. People have tried. You can't say no to Diana McClain.
No, because I'll cry. WestfieldPlunge.com. You can just hit donate and donate any. It just doesn't have to be a particular person. You can just donate, and like Rick was saying, we have little animals, and $5 will help us feed animals. So we love it all. So don't be intimidated.
Every little bit adds up.
It does, and I think on my plunge page I put down trying to raise $5,000, but you have to just throw that out there. But really, we appreciate anything, we really do.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
and another way you're raising money for the Children's Museum is the silent disco, which we talked about earlier.
When, where, why?
We know what a silent disco is, and if you still don't get the concept. It is something that's been out in LA for 10 to 15 years now. You can go on the YouTube and search for videos, silent disco.
Right.
And you'll see it, and then you'll get it, and you go, oh wow, that seems so weird, but for some reason I want to try that out. And I don't want to. And I'm not going to go to New York or L.A. to see what it's all about.
Where can they go?
We can do that right here in Westfield at the Shortstop.
On February 9th, at the Shortstop Bar and Grill in their banquet facility, Jay is going to transform it into a disco with the lighting and all kinds of cool things that you would find at Studio 54 in New York back in the day. I don't know if I'm aging myself. Who knows what that is?
Studio 54 was awesome.
It was. I think they just had some documentary on that. But anyway, we actually have two shows. Mm-hmm. We have a 1:00 matinee for children.
Oh,
so
nice.
it would be like isn't that fun?
Yeah.
So,
apropos music.
Right, apropos, like the kids bop kind of a stuff.
No, apropos as in no bad words.
No bad words.
I don't plan on playing any bad words, period.
Yeah. Yes. So
the roof is on fire has a bad word in it, and that's a very popular one for dancing.
True.
Yeah.
Radio edit.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's going to be children friendly, and I think they would have a ball, kids, and something different in the winter, to do.
Get out of the house.
Get out of the house and get moving, dance and have fun with it. So that will be at 1:00 Saturday, February 9th, at the Shortstop, and then at 7:00 we have the adult version of that. So we have something for everybody, and even for adults who want something different to do. Once we put it out there, a couple people said, "Oh, I did that on a cruise," or I did that, someplace in New York or whatever. But here it is in Westfield, so you don't even have to spend the money to go on a cruise.
I teased it on social media locally, and there were some positive responses.
Good.
Oh, geez, that's so cool. Right. Or geez, I saw that but never been the one.
Right.
And you mentioned Jay and his lights. I know what he has for toys because I've set a lot of them up. You are not just going to be walking into the Shortstop banquet facility and see a couple of uplights along the walls and a mirror ball. Mm-hmm. There is some fantastic nightclub quality lighting that's going to be involved with this.
Yay.
Not making that up.
Oh no,
I
he's got
believe
stuff.
it.
He's got great lighting.
Yes.
He's got great lighting.
Kathy, you haven't.
I have my
seen-
little setup that did great for the Children's Museum, but that's nothing.
That's nothing. You've seen what we do for concerts and whatnot, which is tame. But some of the stuff that he has in his trailer there, well. You'll be really impressed. I mean, you gotta go to this just for the excitement of the show itself. You don't even have to dance. You can just go. You can get something to eat or drink when you're there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's talk about that.
Well, there's the restaurant right there, so you can go over there and get something to eat. You can, if you're going to the matinee, you can go at lunchtime and then go over and have the party at 1:00. or you can party and then go back and what
soft drinks and beverages for the.
You can definitely buy them. They're not. I mean, this is expensive for us, so we aren't offering
cash bar.
Cash bar.
So there is a cash bar.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to get at.
I'm sorry.
Is there an admission fee for this?
Yes, there is an admission fee. What did we put it at? $25 for the adult show, and I want to say $15 for the children.
You're the organizer. We're just the talent.
Yeah, we're just providing the music. Where can people go for additional information? I know we created an event on Facebook for it.
Yes, Amelia Park Children's Museum has it listed as an event.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to pull up the flyer in a second. Isn't that awful? Well, we got a lot going on. We got the plunge, and I think my brain is still in plunge mode because I'm plunging, and I just want to make sure I live to tell the story. Okay, it's $25 for the evening, the 7 p.m. adult show, and it's $15 for the matinee. So that's a child price and the adult price for the children's matinee at
still an open or a cash bar for that, right?
cash bar.
Yeah,
right. And so you'll get your headphones, and we do need people to leave their ID, because if we lose any of these headphones, like I said, it's pretty pricey.
Yep. Yeah.
So they get them on the way out. So you can buy if you go to eventbrite.com, you can search Westfield, and the day and our event will come up, or you can go to, as I said, our Amelia Park Children's Museum Facebook page.
You'll have a link to the event.
Yes, we have. You can buy tickets right from there as well.
Okay.
It will say buy tickets, and just press the button. So you'll be all set on that too. That should be so much fun. I just hope we get the word out, so that people hear about it and come. And we'll talk about it at the Plunge as well Saturday. We'll have some posters there. And maybe I should make tickets for that to bring, too. I'll have tickets there. Why don't we say that? You can buy tickets at the Plunge.
Okay.
How's that?
All right. Plunge this coming Saturday. Silent Disco, February
9th.
Right. Amelia Park Children's Museum. The website is?
AmeliaParkMuseum.org.
Okay.
He's looking at me like,
Google it.
I don't trust you. But, it's so many great things at our museum. We have the Dino Dig, and it's just it's expensive to run with minimum wage going up. It's really tough. I'm sorry, but it's really hard. You have your electricity bills, and also maintenance of the museum, because we really put together exhibits that are hands-on, and we want kids to be using all of their skills, all of their senses, to really go in and play and be imaginative. And your exhibits are going to take a beating. So we need money to do a little bit of repairs. And we're going to have a new exhibit this year. We have Berkshire Bank in there now, but it's going to be totally renovated, really interactive. That's coming this year. So I always try to keep things fresh.
Excellent. Diana, I am completely out of time.
This is so much fun.
Yes,
isn't
it?
We could keep talking and talking.
It was nice having you back in the studio.
Thank you. It's nice to be back.
We'll be seeing you on Saturday morning. You're going to be showing up to Hampton Ponds?
I will be plunging.
Okay, you're plunging this year. You're actually doing it.
I am.
Because every year you say maybe.
I know. Every year, everybody looks like they're having so much fun, and I'm like, nuts, I should have plunged. Nuts, I should have. And Nick will say, well, go ahead. And I'm like, well, that's not I want to raise money. I don't want to just plunge for the fun of it. I want it to serve a purpose. So, I was going to try to celebrate the 350th and wear my ghost costume from the cemetery, but I thought I would ruin it. So, so you'll just have to see what costume I have.
Awesome. Thanks again, Diana.
Thanks, guys.
Kathy, Pete, thanks for being here as usual. My listeners and viewers, if you're back on Channel 15. Next week, making the list. I think I got a good category. I'll be getting the email out to all the players in the next day or two. 2 weeks from now, Ralph Figge, the new city council president, will be in here. We'll talk about new assignments on the committees and maybe even the seating arrangements. 3 weeks from now, Dan Paquette from the library is in here. And then 4 weeks from now, Chef John Slattery. So we have a whole month ahead planned for great
Good for
things
you.
on Ken's Den. That's all I have for you. I'll catch you next week.
Bomba-dee-da, 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 bomba-dee-da,
Until we meet again. Happy trails to you.
Bomba-dee-da,
Keep smiling until then.
Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather.
Happy trails to you till we meet again.